3-year-olds have rejoined me. You have all come back for us to continue talking about our healthy foods. Do you remember the song we did earlier? Okay, let's sing that song quickly. Healthy foods are good for you, good for you, good for you. Healthy foods are good for you. They make you big and strong. I love to eat my healthy foods, healthy foods, healthy foods. I love to eat my healthy foods. Try them and you will see. Excellent. So, boys and girls, we're going to continue talking about our healthy foods. Now, I want you to tell me, what is your favorite healthy food? Okay, I'm hearing the names coming up. Bananas, apples, carrots, yes, and some of the ones that we didn't show earlier, lettuce, yes, pumpkin, great. Anybody's favorite food is fries, donuts? Okay, I hear somebody said, no teacher, those are not healthy foods, and I'm happy that you would have said that because we want to talk about the ones that are good for our bodies, the ones that will make us happy and strong and fit and ready to go. So let's show back some of these fruits, boys and girls, and these healthy foods. Remember what this one is? Papaya. I love papaya. Is one of my favorite foods. I enjoy having my papaya. I also enjoy having my cabbage. Remember what this one is? Carrots. And guess what? Carrots are very good for the eyes. You want to see very, very well? Eat up your carrots. Bananas, very good for your skin. And so these are our healthy foods. And this one is, remember this one? That mommy and daddy put in the soup and grandma? Pumpkin. Great. So all of these are the healthy foods and we eat them because we want our bodies to grow the way that it's supposed to grow and be strong. And nobody wants to become sick easily. Is that so? I'm sure we all do not want to become sick. We want to be strong and we want to eat the foods that will help our bodies to do well. Great. Now, who remember this chart we looked at earlier? You remember how many foods are on this chart? 1, 2, 3, 4. I see 4 healthy foods. Let's say that together. I see 4 healthy foods. Now we want to do an activity called My Healthy Food Plates. Here I have an empty plastic plate here, boys and girls, and sometimes mommy and daddy have these at home. You could ask mommy and daddy if it's okay to get one of these to make a healthy food plate. Now, I also have some foods in my basket here. You know what this is? We didn't have this one on the card earlier, but these are grapes. Anybody like to drink this? You know what this is? Yes, milk. Right, and we have strawberries, and see I have some carrots, so I have some fruits and healthy foods here in my container right here. Now, I'm going to be doing an activity with these 4 healthy foods, boys and girls, to make my healthy food plates. So I'll be cutting these from my card. Now remember, when you are cutting, use a safety scissors, the one that doesn't have a sharp edge. And I'm showing you that one just now because that's the one I am using today. The one that does not have a sharp edge or doesn't have sharp edges, so that it doesn't stick you easily to damage your skin. So I am cutting my healthy foods from my cards because I'm going to be pasting them in my plates. And when I'm finished pasting them, my plates will be called the healthy food plates. What will my plate be called? The healthy food plates. I've cut 1, I have 3 to go. Remember, I'm cutting 4. So after I cut 1, then I cut the second one, that's number 2. Right, and then after I cut number 2, what one I'm going to next? Number 3. So now I'm cut number 2, and I'm going to cut the third one, number 3. So remember now, one of the things also, boys and girls, take your time to use the scissors. Okay, if you go too fast, you could also damage your finger. Keep your fingers away from the scissors so you don't get hurt if it catches your hand, all right? So I've cut number 3, and after 3, what comes next? Excellent. 4, I'm cutting the 4th healthy food. So we're going to be counting them, pasting them, and while we're pasting, we count so that each time we know how many foods we pasted on our plates. All right, so this is the last one, food number 4, healthy food number 4. So here goes. I have all 4 healthy foods cut away from my card. Here is 1, my cabbage, just 1. My pumpkin, that's 2. My papaya, that's 3. And my bananas, that's 4. So now that I have cut them away from my card, I want to paste them on my healthy food plate. Now at the moment, there's nothing in my plate, and I want some healthy foods in my plate. So I'll be pasting the pictures one at a time. So I'm taking the first one up. What's this one? Great, so I'm pasting my bananas first. So I'm putting my glue now, boys and girls, on the back of my picture. Remember now, if you put the glue on the front of your picture, that's where it's going to paste, so you won't see the fruit or the food that you pasted. So put the glue at the back. So here goes, I'm going to be pasting it on my plate. I'm pasting it in a way that you can see it when I show it to you. So after a while, it's going to dry and it's going to stick and remain in the plate. So I've pasted food number 1, and I'm moving on to healthy food number 2. Here goes, and this time I'm pasting the papaya for healthy food number 2. And I paste it right here beside the banana. Okay, so I've pasted 2 so far. I have how many to go? 2 to go. And I'm moving on to food number 3. Healthy food number 3. What's this healthy food? Pumpkin. Yes, that same one that grandma and mommy and daddy put in the soup. When do we have your soup? I usually have my soup on a Saturday. But we can have soup any day of the week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I've pasted how many foods so far? 1, 2, 3. How many do I have left to go? I have another one to go. 1 to go to make it number 4. And this is my cabbage, all right? Do you notice what color the cabbage is, boys and girls? Cabbage is green. And remember we said earlier that the ripe banana is what color? Yes, yellow. Do you notice anything about the papaya, what color it has? We have a whole papaya and we have one that is cut. So the whole papaya has yellow skin on the outside, and when we cut it on the inside, we could say it's orange, right? And we see some black seeds inside of it as well. And the pumpkin, what would you say about the pumpkin? The skin is green and inside looks yellow. Is that so? Great. So now we have our 4 healthy foods pasted in our plates. I hope you have done so as well. Now, if you are not able to do it now, boys and girls, you could always do it another time. All right? You could ask mommy and daddy to get these things for you, and you could paste them in your free time. So now we have pasted our 4 healthy foods. Great. Now, there's something that we need to eat our food, because we want to eat them, we're not just making them for them to stay in the plate to look at them. These are not real. Of course, we can't have these. But when you get the real ones in the plates, you should eat them. Don't throw them in the bin. Don't hide and throw them away outside, Put them right down in your stomach, eat them, and let them do very well for your body. So we need a fork, okay, to eat our healthy foods. So our fork will be able to stick in our papaya, in our bananas, because we'll be cutting the bananas in some small slices, and our pumpkins and our cabbage will be shredded in small pieces, and we stick our fork in the healthy foods, put them to our mouths and eat, swallow, and let them do well for our body. So let me see if I can draw a fork here now. I'm sure you all know what a fork looks like. So if mine doesn't look like a fork, right. Right, so I'm going to cut my fork from my paper and place it at the side of my plate so that when I'm ready to eat, I can take up my fork by the handle and stick it in my healthy food. Does this look like a fork? I hope you say yes. All right, so here goes. I'm putting my glue now at the back of my picture of my fork, and I'm going to be pasting it at the side of my healthy food plate. So when it is time for eating, I just take my fork up by the handle, stick it in my food, put it to my mouth and start eating. I also want to have something to drink with my healthy food. And I'm thinking of this liquid here to drink. What is this here? A box of milk. Very good. Do you like drinking milk? Yes, milk is also good for your body. So let me see if I can draw that box of milk now. And if it doesn't look like it now, boys and girls, at least I'll show you what it looks like, right? And I'm going to write the word milk on it. So even if it doesn't look like milk, it has the name on it. All right, so my little box of milk is also going at the side of my plate. So guess what, boys and girls? After I have finished eating my healthy foods, I drink my box of milk. And it is also among the group of healthy foods. And if you don't have box milk, milk can come in other containers as well. Sometimes they come in bottles. All right, even plastic bags, depending on how they package the milk in the supermarkets or in the shop. So I'm going to paste in my box of milk at the side of my plate over here. So I'm now finished making my healthy food plates. And in my healthy food plates, I have pumpkin, papaya, bananas, cabbage. And to be able to eat my healthy food the way I should, I have a fork. I hold my fork at the handle, stick it in my food, eat, chew, swallow, and when I'm finished eating, I drink my box of milk. So healthy foods are good for you, good for you. Good for you. Healthy foods are good for you. They make you big and strong. You should eat up your healthy foods, healthy foods, healthy foods. You should eat up your healthy foods to make you big and strong. So boys and girls, please eat up your healthy foods. Eat them every day. Okay? Excellent. So we have another thing to share with you, boys and girls, before we finish today. There's a story that I want to share with you. All right? And this story is about eating the right foods. Now, what do we call the right foods? Healthy foods. Foods that are good for our bodies. So, story time, story time, story time. Story time, story time, story time. When my teacher begins to talk, I don't want to talk at all. I want to hear story time. So the song says, when my teacher begins to talk, I don't want to talk at all. I want to hear story time. So you're going to sit quietly and listen to the story. Now, when we're reading stories, we always tell what the title is. So the title of the story is Eating Well. What's the title of the story? Eating well. And eating well means eating the right foods, eating the foods that are healthy, like the ones we talked about earlier and the ones in our healthy food plates. The bananas, the pumpkin, the cabbage, the papaya. Those are the foods that we eat when we eat well. So this story is saying you should look after yourself by eating well. Looking after me, eating well. So let's see what the story says about eating well. Are you ready to hear? Great. So the title of our story is Eating Well. When James stays at Ethan's house, the boys eat burgers in front of the television and have midnight feasts. I hope you're hearing what I'm saying in the story, boys and girls. James thinks that this is wonderful until he became sick from too much junk food and starts having nightmares, some weird dreams that make him unhappy and frightened. So he started having nightmares about being chased by giant chocolate bars and hamburgers and having his teeth drilled into by the dentist. Now that must be some scary stuff. James is keen to grow up to be as strong and healthy. His dad says to him that if you want to be healthy and if you want to be strong and fit and to be well, you should do these things. This is what you should do. So let's listen what his dad told him to do, that if he wants to be healthy, if he wants to be fit, if he wants to be strong, listen to what his father says to him. So after a healthy lunch at school, James has a lot of energy and does very well in sports and in his lessons. Did you hear that? After what? After a healthy lunch. And we could use the words we learned earlier. After having healthy foods, James was able to do well in sports, running, kicking the football, and playing all different types of sports games. And he was able to learn and do well at school. Because, boys and girls, if we want to be smart, we have to feed our brains with the right foods, which are the healthy foods. So he encourages Ethan. So Daddy says to Ethan to make healthier choices, and the boys bought fruits rather than buying hot dogs, rather than buying, tell me some of the foods that they should not buy. So instead of buying hot dogs, fries, donuts, burgers, and the KFCs, the boys instead bought fruits. Now, what would be some of those fruits that those boys would have bought? Apples, yes, bananas, papayas, mangoes, berries, and we could name many other fruits that they would have bought. And those fruits would have been healthy for their bodies. And also they bought some vegetables. We saw vegetables earlier like the cabbage. Maybe they bought some lettuce, some callaloo. All right. Both boys now love good food and like to try new things, but have special treats from time to time. Now, what do you think this story means by saying special treats? Now, remember, boys and girls, I said earlier that although the fries and the burger and the donuts are not good for our bodies, we can have them sometimes, but we should not eat them often, not eat them every day. So James and his friends were able to have special treats from time to time, and that's the end of the story. So who in the story we heard about, boys and girls? Yes, we heard about James. And where was James? Great. James was at his friend Ethan's house. And while they watched television, what were they having? Yes, they were having the junk foods. What are the junk foods? The burger, the KFC, and all those things. And they start having nightmares, start seeing dentists boring holes in their teeth, and they become very frightened about that. And Daddy said to James that you should have better choices by choosing foods that are healthy. So after James and Ethan had some healthy foods that day, they were able to do good in their sporting activities. They were able to do very well in their lessons, and they were very happy and very strong. And Daddy said to them, you should buy the foods that are healthy rather than buying the ones that are not healthy. So James and Ethan, after that day, started eating most of the foods that are good for their bodies, the foods that are healthy for them. So they started eating up their pumpkin, their cabbage, their bananas, their papaya, their lettuce. They started drinking up their milk, eating their grapes, and all those lovely foods. And they were very strong, healthy, and did very well in all the things that they were doing. But from time to time, they had a little fries every now and then, have a little burger every now and then, a little hot dog every now and then, but they didn't do that often. So boys and girls, today in our lesson, we learned about eating foods that are good for our bodies, and those foods are called healthy foods. And we also learned that there are some foods that are not good for our bodies, and those foods are called unhealthy foods. So we should stay away from the unhealthy foods, and we should love the healthy foods. Eat them up every single day. So I hope after today, we'll practice eating up a lot of our healthy foods because they are good for you. They make you strong, they make you ready to go, they make you filled with energy. So boys and girls and everyone who listened to the lesson today, we thank you for watching and thank you for sharing. Remember now, no screen time for children 2 years and under. Remember, 1 hour per day for screen time for children 3 to 5 year olds. And we encourage you, visit the ECC's website at www.ecc.gov.jm, and you'll see wonderful activities there for your parents and for your children to enjoy. Remember now, wash those hands with soap and water, sanitize those hands, keep yourselves clean and safe. And remember, although grandma and grandpa may be far away, please check up on them, give them a call, all right? And stay safe. We want everybody to stay safe, everybody to be happy. I want you to practice to eat up your healthy food. So we're going to close now by singing our healthy food song. Healthy foods are good for you, good for you, good for you. Healthy foods are good for you, they make you big and strong. Eat up your healthy food, eat up your healthy food, eat up your healthy food, eat up your healthy food. Healthy foods are good for you. So we thank you for watching today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. And keep safe, keep safe, keep safe, keep safe. And we'll see each other another time.